Dr. James J.C. Cooley. That's right. Let's go. It's the James Cooley Show. It's your life. Dr. James J.C. Cooley. All right.
The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life, can be heard every Sunday at 9 p.m. right here on The Answer San Diego. Life is full of circles, cycles, phases, and stages. It's your choice to ignore or embrace them. Motivational speaker, author, military veteran, and founder of the J.C. Cooley Foundation, James Cooley, and his guest will inspire and equip you to strive for your own greatness and overcome adversities. Listen to The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life, every Sunday at 9 p.m. right here on The Answer San Diego.
The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life, can be heard every Sunday at 6 p.m. right here on 660 AM The Answer in Dallas-Fort Worth. Life is full of circles, cycles, phases, and stages. It's your choice to ignore them or embrace them. Motivational speaker, author, military veteran, and founder of the J.C. Cooley Foundation, James Cooley, and his guests will inspire and equip you to strive for your own greatness and overcome adversities. Listen to The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life, every Sunday at 6 p.m. right here on 660 AM The Answer in Dallas-Fort Worth.
The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life, can be heard every Sunday at 6 p.m. right here on The Answer. Life is full of circles, cycles, phases, and stages. It's your choice to ignore or embrace them. Motivational speaker, author, military veteran, and founder of the J.C. Cooley Foundation, James Cooley and his guests will inspire and equip you to strive for your own greatness and overcome adversities. Listen to The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life, every Sunday at 6 p.m. right here on The Answer.
Yeah. Dr. James J.C. Cooley. The James Cooley Show. It's your life. Yeah.
Hello, welcome to the James Cooley Show. It's your life. I'm your host, Dr. James J.C. Cooley, and wow, that's the only thing I'm gonna say. We got an absolutely fantastic show coming your way today. Grab you 9 or 10 bags of popcorn because this guest is going to be bringing it. Yes, he's going to bring it. I'm not going to give it away. That's Dr. Till. Well, Dr. Till is co-hosting today, and well, she always co-hosts a fill-in. I mean, absolutely extraordinary. And we got Dr. Nike here as well. She thinks she's going to stay off camera. We're going to pop up. And these are the founders of Viridian Christian University. I tell you, you don't want to have me start talking about that one. Then we won't even get to the show. We'll talk about it later. So Dr. T, how are you doing today?
Listen, I'm excited. You're right. It's like the guest you have today is a powerhouse. I can't wait to introduce him. He is an amazing, amazing person. And he also has a very special connection to Viridian Christian University. And again, I'm excited that he's here. I'm excited to be here, to have an opportunity to have conversations with him. It is great to see you again, Dr. Cooley. You know, I love chit-chatting with you and being on your show, the hottest show around. And I am thrilled to see Dr. Nike here as well, the co-founder of Meridian Christian University. And so, like I said, it's going to be fire today.
How you doing, Dr. Nike? I know you don't want to say nothing, but how you doing today?
I'm doing great. I'm so excited to be here, and I cannot wait to hear what the golden nuggets are going to be shared here. So make sure you grab a pen and a notebook, because everything is just going to be bullet points for you.
Yeah, so I tell you what, whichever platform that you watching us on, was it E360 Television, Transfer TV, YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, Rumble, and over 85 other platforms, welcome to the show. And if you want to be part of the conversation that we're going to have, all you have to do is go to the comments on the platform that you're watching us on, ask any question that you might have. I promise you we'll get you an answer. Dr. T, I am excited. Can you please tell our viewers and listeners the title of the show, the purpose of the show, and introduce this absolutely fantastic guest?
Absolutely. You know, today our special guest is Dr. Kehinde Thomas. And listen, what doesn't he do? He does it all. He's a magnificent person. He is a seasoned financial strategist and entrepreneur with over 25 years of experience in the insurance industry. He has had multiple viral videos from the School of Hardknockz to a tune of over 40 million views in multiple different platforms. He hosts titles such as LUTCF and FSS. He specializes in guiding entrepreneurs and professionals toward financial freedom and business success. And he has been a celebrity speaker at many different events. He's earned a master's in corporate and business communications. And he also has an honorary doctorate degree from Meridian Christian University in Christian leadership and business. And he is also the founder of Money, Vision, and Power Initiative, where he offers free training in financial mastery. Beyond his professional endeavors, Dr. Thomas is deeply committed to faith, family, and empowering others to build lasting wealth and legacy. Dr. Thomas.
Thank you very much. You know, what a powerful introduction. I really appreciate that, you know, tremendously. Nice to see you, Dr. T. Very, very nice. Dr. Nike, same. And Dr. Cooley, thank you for having us. Appreciate it.
It's an absolute pleasure. So I tell you what, I'm going to start off. Can you please tell our viewers and listeners a little bit more about you, where you grew up, what made you click, and why you're so passionate about educating others, and especially when it comes from in the financial industry world?
I appreciate that. By the way, I love your energy. You know, when you speak, your whole body moves. You know, I flip it. I love it. Just a little bit, Dr. Cooley. So beyond, you know, the accomplishments, you know, the platform, etc. I'm a guy that's shaped by struggle, by sacrifice, you know, by spiritual conviction. That's me, because I was raised in Nigeria by a single mother. So at the age of 7, you know, my dad was driving to church, had an accident, and died on the spot. So mom has to raise all of us. So the laws taught me early the importance of something we call protection, you know, because dad passed away, you know, without protection. And so mom had to figure things out. I literally just watched, you know, the pain in her eyes trying to raise, you know, all of us. So it was both financial and emotional, for that matter. So when I immigrated to the United States, you know, I went to Pittsburgh, you know, a college called Duquesne University. But I had a burning desire, though. The burning desires for me, not just to survive, but actually to serve. Because I know what's like to truly be at the other receiving end of it, you know, and it wasn't pretty. So if I had an opportunity to be the one to serve, of course, I would do wholeheartedly. So I'm not just a financial educator. I'm a financial liberator. That's the way I look at this. That I'm committed to helping the everyday people to be able to rewrite their money story completely. And so far, so good. God has been on my side. My story has been enlarged. A lot of people have heard my voice, across the globe. And I'm very, very grateful, So this is really who I am.
So, if you had one adjective to describe you, I'm talking about just you, your personality, everything, what adjective would that be and why?
I am relentless. Let me let me explain this. This is the word is relentless. I never quit, on the people I call to serve. I never do. Okay, let me put it to you this way. Whether I'm building a business, or I'm mentoring leaders or I'm educating families, I do it with a relentless pursuit of purpose. So I say this, and people laugh when I say this. They said the way you do one thing is how you do everything. So if I am on a treadmill, I'm running. There's a guy I run with actually on a treadmill at UFC, right? And this guy is fine. You may be listening right now. His name is Richard. And Richard is just an avid runner. When I say avid, he's crazy runner. He will finish up the entire treadmill. Now, I run, but not to that capacity. I watch Richard run, and I'll look at him, and I'm saying to myself, the only way I will stop is somebody taking my dead body off this treadmill. Like, I refuse to stop. Now, I'm hyperventilating. You can tell, like, well, dude, what are you doing? You should stop. But I just wouldn't stop. I hang with him. That meant it's crazy. That mentality has really served me very well. Like, I am very relentless. Once there's clarity of purpose, I don't back down.
So I want to ask the question. I want to jump in and ask the question.
Yes.
You talk about financial literacy and how important it is. I'm going to back it up because I'm sure you have people that listen from all different levels and different levels of understanding. But if you had to describe really what is financial literacy, is it just balancing your checkbook, the debits and the credits, but really what is, because I think that's a piece that's missing is people know debits and credits, but really understanding, I'll call it how the money works is important. So can you share more about really what it is?
That's, by the way, you see this point you just mentioned right there, it's at the core of what I really do, because it's in the world of quantum physics, there's something we call the observer's effect. So the observer's effect is like you look at something, but your expectation you put forth on that very subject matter, it allowed that very phenomenon to take the shape of whatever you expect of it. We'll call it the observer's effect. Mm-hmm. And so in the world of finance, what we'll find out is this, that money truly is a mindset. Mm-hmm. That financial literacy, it's purely a mindset. And so it's just like if you take a mirror and you're looking at yourself, you're only going to see you. Mm-hmm. So what is going on inside is really what's reflected in the bank account. So wow. The first thing to do really is to get the internal right first. So this is, what is your relationship with money, for example? How do you feel about money? What kind of negative, like narratives you carry forth, mm-hmm. or even generational for whatever it may be, that you carry forward towards your attitude towards money. What kind of is it a poverty mindset? Is it a wealthy mindset that you have? And what kind of a circle, literally are you going through? So the way I look at it is this. Financial literacy, the first thing is I don't even look at the money first. I look at the mind. Mm. So if I am sitting down with someone, I want to know, where's your mind at? How do you process the subject of money and the issues around money? But the first 3 to 4 questions, I know right away, exactly where you're going. So my job is to leave footprints, not just the paychecks, so that I can tilt and shift the minds so that the individual can then understand how to work with money. For example, let me ask one question.
Hold that thought, Doc. We got to take a station break, but we're gonna come back and we're gonna finish this question up because I want to. I know it's all about the mindset and shifting the mindset that controls everything else. But I tell you what, if you want to be part of this conversation, whichever platform that you're watching us on, just go to the comments, ask any question that you might have. I promise you, we'll get you an answer. It's your life, and we'll see you short after break.
The future is here.
Now is the time to pursue the greatness in you. Welcome to Viridian Christian University, where faith meets future. We are a fully accredited, 100% online Christian university. We offer bachelor's degree, master's and doctorate degree programs, built for students like you. Affordable tuitions, 30+ degree programs, 100% online and flexible, integrating faith with learning. Study from anywhere at your pace. At VCU, we do not just prepare you for a degree. We prepare you for purpose. Discover who you are, grow in faith, and build a future that impacts the world.
Are you ready to start your journey today? Visit www.viridianchristianuniversity.com.
Apply today and be among the global leaders.
Really get a chance to know who you are. And once you know who you are, you truly know who you are, love who you are. Love who you are. You're a masterpiece. Love who you are. Love who you were born to be. Love me some me. That's what I'm talking about. When you leave high school, you gotta know today or tomorrow, or hopefully today, what your plans are. Hopefully, there is no bad decision unless there is no plan. Create, collaborate, commit with confidence. Commit with what? Commit with what? And everything that you do.
Noah Dingley here, producer of The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life. And the new audio version of James' book, Country Boy, City Boy, A Journey That Ain't Over Yet, is a must-have. James shares his true life story of struggle and success in America. It's both a cautionary tale and a roadmap to achieving the American dream. Get the new audio version of Country Boy, City Boy, A Journey That Ain't Over Yet by James Cooley on Amazon.com or wherever audiobooks are sold.
Hello, welcome back to the James Cooley Show, It's Your Life. And I tell you, just listening to that first segment, I know you're down to probably 7 bags of popcorn, but you might want to save something. We got a lot more coming your way. We got a whole lot more coming your way. So Dr. Thomas, now you was talking on the question that Dr. T had asked you about having the right mindset,
Right.
And that understanding, and you already know the first 4 questions, the first 4 answers already. Can you pick back up on that?
Yes, so what I was saying is this, we never thought, I know growing up, I was never really taught about the subject of money.
Mm-hmm.
So you go to school, you go through everything. There was no one sat down and did budgeting with you, for example. The risk taking, your appetite, towards spending, to cut. The practical financial knowledge is really not really taught in school. So it's when you go out, you start a business, or you're out on the streets, that's where you figure things out. But the question I say, this is what I say, and I have a lot of clients. Some of them are super, super wealthy. And when I take a look at the average person, typically the opportunity for them to accumulate wealth, maybe it could be investment in themselves. They will hesitate. They will think about it. They want to make that move because of, again, the mindset of scarcity. What if I let go? Then, my God, what's going to happen? I don't know. Okay. Then you go to the other side, and the question they ask is, how can I afford it? So that is a shift, in the way the mind process. So there's creativity, innovation, or how I can afford, as opposed to I can afford it. So, you know, when I start asking questions, then I start to see that it's a very deep psychological underlining, you know, behind the mindset of money. You know, that one of the responsibilities I think I have is how to get the individual to move from one side to the other. But I also want to say this though, in the seven Hermetic laws, you know, there's one of them that talks specifically about as above, so below. You know, as within, so without. So in other words, like whatever it is, whoever it is that I am within is exactly what I see outside. So even if I'm chasing money all day long, but if I have a poverty mindset, that money is not going to stick. So
Yeah.
I can make it, but I can keep it. So therefore, when I work on my internal first, you know, and then lay the foundation, then it takes appropriate steps in alignment. Then when I go after the money, then the money is mine, especially when you fight for it, you work for it, you bring the value to it, then it's yours, but it stays this time around. So these are some of the things. When it comes to financial literacy, we start with just the basics first.
You know, one of the things that I want to touch on that you mentioned, I so firmly believe that sometimes growing up, the conversations that we hear from like our parents about money, about wealth, about we didn't have those conversations. I know in my house, we really, the conversation in my house, if you want to have anything, you have to work hard. Well, I know tons of people in the world who have worked hard and still don't have two nickels to rub together. So it took some time for me to shift that thinking, like there's more to it than just working hard. Of course, working hard is part of it, but the understanding, I'll call it the other side of the coin. So if you don't mind sharing, this is probably a little personal, but what were some things that you had to adjust to? You know, growing up, you were saying that they really didn't talk about it, you didn't learn. What were some things for you that you had to do in order to shift your mindset to like, okay, this is something that I believe, and I've come to realize that, oh, there's more to it than just that.
Okay. You know, first and foremost, you know, it has been proven by science now that literally, you know, you are purely a reflection of not just who you are currently, you yourself, but a combination, you know, of multiple generations before you, you know, and it has been proven, you know, genetically and otherwise that, you know, those things passed on to you, although you call it, you know, generational blessings or generational curses or whatever, you know, name attached to it, that, you know, eventually you are carrying a load of your great, so on and so forth, grandfather or grandmother, you know, and their attitude towards money. So for me, for example, it was pretty much like you think it's very easy to get money. No, you have to work. You have to work 24 hours, basically don't sleep before you can accumulate money. So for us, like working hard, like is the only way to make money. So in my culture, I mean, growing up, I just watched my parents just literally work themselves to death. You know, like my dad passed and my mom continued. There's no rest. So I work like literally nonstop. But I guess what I find out, it doesn't work like that. I mean, actually, it may surprise a lot of people. I know people that work 80 hours a week and still don't make $100,000 a year. You know, they exist. And I know people that work 20 hours a week. I make $50 million a year. I know them. So there was a difference between the two. The difference, what I realized is this, you know, and this is really good for everybody, you know, to know that the way to really make money today, you know, is not necessarily the hard work. Like I'm going to be doing, no, it's not. The way to make money today is to strategically position yourself to be in the middle to shake hands.
Yes.
So if you're the person in the middle that is shaking hands, you know, and you're connecting people together and you're getting your card, you're not in the offices, you're not out there on the street, you know, you're not sweating the losses on the Wall Street, and so on and so forth. But yet, when the profit comes, you know, you get to partake of the profit. It is, in fact, the single most effective way to actually make money, sometimes more than investing. So
Mhm.
I plan to get people to start thinking strategically, how to position themselves on how to accumulate wealth. But I had to learn all this though, because for me it was like I have to work my butt off. That's it. That's all I knew. But I
Mhm.
realized long hours does not necessarily mean more money.
Money. Absolutely.
Well, we
Absolutely.
got a question here,
Sure.
Dr. Michelle Cooley. Why do you believe it's important for parents who are not financially literate to learn themselves so that they can teach their children?
Wow. What a phenomenal question. First of all, you can't give what you don't have.
Hmm.
So ideally speaking, the ideal thing is this. The reason why I embellish everybody in financial literacy, and the answer to that is this. If I'm a mechanic, auto mechanic, it's fair to say I have to learn how cars works. If I'm a doctor, I should know how the human body works, including medicine. Isn't that right? Okay, and so on. So if I'm an engineer, okay. So if I am going to go into the business of actually acquiring wealth and making money, shouldn't I know one or two things about how money works? So financial literacy, is I want to look at it like you're in a car. The
Hmm.
car has tires and engine. It has seats. You need gas. And you need a driver, although now we have driverless cars. But anyway, so if I still example, you need a car.
Hmm.
The engine, of that car is so important that if you're going to prioritize, like what's the most important thing right there is the engine. Although without a tire, you don't move. Isn't that the truth? Without gas, you're not going anywhere. Isn't that the truth?
Yes.
Nowhere to sit, very uncomfortable. Isn't that the truth? So there are different multifaceted aspects to the car, but the engine is the heartbeat. Financial literacy is the heartbeat to that wealth. And so a parent should learn as much as they can. And that's why the books like Think and Grow Rich by
Hmm.
Napoleon Hill, for example, and they have it the black version, they have a different version, and so if you follow me to bend it to your own culture, those are things like everybody should. Like, for example, the book, the Rich Dad Poor Dad, you know, like Robert Kiyosaki, like teaching basic financial literacies, bam, okay, that makes sense. Cash flow. So the list goes on. The idea is this, is to intentionally position yourself to learn as a parent so that you can begin to teach. Watch this. Thanksgiving time, Christmas time. You go to one side of town. You know what the convention is around the table? So what's the latest investment nowadays? What are you putting your money into? What return are you getting? So tell me more about that land. Tell me more about this. Tell me more about that. You go to the other side of town, it's all consumerism. What did you just buy? That's a nice shirt.
Yeah.
You just change the tire. So one is actively speaking the language of investing, of growing,
Hmm.
because money coming, I don't want it in additions, I want it in multiplications. Okay. Then the other side, money comes in, and guess what they're thinking about? What's the next new gadget I can purchase? So
Hmm.
we have to take this as a crusade to teach, to say if you want to truly be wealthy, then you have to shift your mind. So as a parent, I think it's a responsibility that all of us needs to embark upon, to make sure that we accumulate as much financial literacy so we can teach our children and start them very young.
Wow. And you're right. A lot of people, they are never going to get there because it's all about uh, the want. I want to get a little money. I want to buy that car. I
Yeah.
look at it like this. There are things called needs and there are things called wants.
Once.
The
Yep.
needs are so necessary that you have to have those things. Uh, all of the Mercedes and all that other type of stuff, those are wants. And if you got it, you making income, you doing all that. Yeah, I'm like, yeah. But if you are just trying to get by, trying to get ahead, and you put your needs behind your wants, you're gonna be broke. You're gonna be busted. I mean, that's just how that is. So I believe that from a parent perspective, what Michelle was asking, I believe the parents need to educate themselves first and get out that type of mindset because you cannot teach someone something if your mindset ain't right yourself. You know, we got about 1 minute before the break. Dr. Thomas, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, in fact, if I put it to you this way, okay, in this 1 minute, as a parent who have multiple responsibilities, you know how you know a parent is a very good parent? Very simple. It's not how their children turns out. It's exactly how their grandchildren turns out.
Woo! Preach! That's so good. That's so good. Yeah.
Wow. I wasn't expecting that, but that's so cool. You know, we're gonna take a station break, but we're gonna come back. Now you're down to 3 bags of popcorn. You got a lot more to go. You better stay in some of that. I tell you what, you want to be part of this conversation, whichever platform that you're watching us on, all you have to do is go to the comments and ask the question. I promise you, I will get it up there. And I tell you, remember always, it's your life. And we'll be back shortly after the break.
Your life. Dr. James J.C. Cooley.
A Black Man's Point of View is the newest Amazon.com #1 release and bestseller book from author Dr. James J.C. Cooley, featuring the perspective from 11 other contributing authors. In A Black Man's Point of View, Dr. James Cooley unpacks his thoughts and personal experiences about the challenges, stereotypes, and feelings of self-worth that many black men face today due to a 400-year ancestry rooted in slavery and colonization. Yet, how so many black men move forward despite this history. Most importantly, A Black Man's Point of View conveys that all men, regardless of race, creed, or color, are capable of love, respect, and dignity. Described as a map to a greater life from the heart of a man who's experienced life's misfortune and harsh conditions, James shows us how beliefs, convictions, and a healthy mentality can help propel a life worth living. A must-read for all. Order your copy of A Black Man's Point of View by author Dr. James J.C. Cooley today from Amazon.com or wherever books are sold.
Hi, I'm Dr. Michelle Cooley. Heart disease research saves lives. It's that simple. Thanks to medical advancements funded by the American Heart Association, more women are surviving heart attacks, strokes, and other cardiovascular diseases than ever before. But there's still so much work to do.
Hi, I'm Dr. James J.C. Cooley, and I'm raising funds to support life-saving research because every heartbeat is worth fighting for. In honor of Women's History Month, please join me in support of the American Heart Association and women's health.
Welcome to Viridian Christian University, where faith and learning come together to transform lives. At VCU, we believe that education is more than just academics. It's about fostering a community of growth, integrity, and purpose. Whether you're pursuing a bachelor's, master's, or doctorate, VCU offers flexible, affordable, and 100% online degree programs that cater to your busy life. Our innovative platform provides a personalized learning experience, empowering you to thrive in today's ever-evolving world. Join a global community of learners guided by an experienced faculty who are committed to your success. With VCU, you're not just earning a degree, you're preparing for a future that integrates faith, leadership, and service. Viridian Christian University, educating with purpose, transforming lives. Learn more at ViridianChristianUniversity.com. ViridianChristianUniversity.com.
Dr. James J.C. Cooley. It's the James Cooley Show. It's your life.
Hello, welcome back to the James Cooley Show. It's your life, and I tell you, this brother right here is putting it out. He educating, he's inspiring, He doing it all. And Dr. T, what you think about the show so far? He kind of got me. It's not about your kids. It's your grandkids. I have never,
Listen, look, I knew that Dr. Thomas was going to be dropping some nuggets of information, but I didn't realize he was going to just like, whoa. And that's exactly what has happened. Just whoa. He's saying things and sharing information that I just hadn't really given that deep of a thought to. When he made that comment about the if you really, you really want to know how well you did as a parent, how did the grandkids, I was like, oh my gosh, that really resonated, because I'm a grandmother. My granddaughter is 4. So one of the things, I was just having a conversation with someone. I was talking about, part of why I'm building my legacy and things that I'm doing is for my granddaughter, so it just the timing and the nuggets of information is valuable, just completely valuable.
It's so valuable that we got to have this brother back on the show again. I know we still got 2 segments to go, but this is inspiring. And as I see that Josh Goldsmith Financial Corporation, great show. I find that debt is contrary to wealth accumulation. What are your thoughts about debt and leveraging to amass and maintain wealth? Oh, that's a powerful question. Hey, Dr. Thomas, well, I want to hear what you guys say about that.
Yeah, I'm listening, and I got my note paper ready.
This is one of the topic, that I mentor a lot about, the question of debt, because there is good debt and there's bad one, So what is a good debt, for example? So if I'm to borrow money to invest in a real estate, for example, that will appreciate an asset, what's a bad debt? If I go to buy, a Louis Vuitton bag, or some kind of a Gucci item, or something like I bought a car just to impress somebody, it's called consumer's debt. That's a bad one. So here's what the real subject matter is, from Goldsmith Financial here. That's the concept. The concept is called borrowing your way to wealth. I'll say that one more time. Borrowing your way to wealth. Most people are not born rich. And as you know, they start 70 or 80% of millionaires are self-made. So therefore, where did the money come from? A lot of this money is because they borrow money, and then over a period of time, amass their wealth. So it will go like this. So I don't have any money to my name, but I work so hard on making sure my credit is good. I studied the underwriting requirements for taking out a loan. So I check mark 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, boom, got it. Put it to the side. Then I apply for a loan because I know I'm going to get it. Then I take the loan, for example. Maybe I do real estate investing. Or boom, I put rental properties out there. So I'm in debt now, say maybe for $500,000 or even for $1 million, for example. But guess what, though? I'm getting a lot of money coming in to service the debt, which is the loan in this case. And I even have a positive cash flow. Then guess what I do? I go to the next item. I go to the next item. I go to the next item. So every time I'm flipping this over, maybe I'm now doing $50,000, $100,000 in profit. Now that's net. By the time I do it 10 times, think about that for a moment. Maybe in the course of a year, a 2, a 4, or 5 years, now I have $1 million to my name. Now let's talk about the power of compound interest. Lord have mercy. Now, besides going into the depth of financial literacy, then you realize, hold on a second, I started with nothing, but now I got $5 million to my name. Rich people use other people's money. That's what the banks do too. Poor people use their own money. So in the space of financial wealth, in the space of growth, all you're looking for is how for you to master how to use good debt to be able to amass wealth. Now, let me also give you a disclaimer though. If I'm going and I'm borrowing money left or right, but I can't contain my appetite for some kind of a behavior for spending that is not related to, my money making money back for me, I have no business doing that. So borrowing your way to wealth means you're disciplined, and then you are able to go forth that way. So in the book, I think Robert Kiyosaki talked about this. It's probably the cash flow quadrant, I think. The highest form, of making money is investing, which is the highest. So you have the employee at the bottom, which, by the way, rich people or wealthy people buy poor people's time. Because, a poor person, is willing and very happy to sell their time, because none of us can create any additional time. It's the most valuable thing we have, but yeah, we give it away very freely. So I will buy it with my money so I can travel the world, enjoy my life. So while you labor, then I pay you call a salary. Okay, cool. If you stay there, then your life is already predetermined. Then you go into what we call self-employed, which is a glorified, obviously, employee. If you're sick, your business is sick. If you're healthy, then you make money, your business is healthy. You know how that goes, right? Then you go from there to business owner, so which more cash flow coming in now, you have staff, etc. And then you go to investing. Now, why am I saying this? I'm saying it because once you begin to understand the hierarchical order of making money, then it makes sense to understand that you actually have the responsibility to be self-taught in knowing fully well that you didn't come from wealth and nobody's handing no money to you. As a matter of fact, nobody's coming to rescue you. You're the only one that's going to rescue yourself. You don't have a choice but to borrow. And so when you borrow, then you borrow your way to wealth. So debt is not a bad thing. It's just which angle are you coming from?
Wow, that is so well said, and you're right. It's which angle you're coming from. So let's discuss the hidden wealth vehicle, life insurance, and all of those things, because a lot of people utilize life insurance, term policy, whatever that might be, to get a better understanding, and they can utilize those policies in the future, even though they are not dead. you know, they can borrow against, not borrow, but it's really their money.
Yep.
Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. See, I'm a very big believer, in insurance, because as I deal with very wealthy people, guess what's in the heart of everything they do? Life insurance. Guess what else is in the heart of everything they do? I knew it. I'm like, hold on a second. Why is it that we were talking multi-million-dollar deal? Somewhere along the line, no matter what you're talking about, insurance creeps in. All right. I'm like, all right, let's go study this, because this happened to be my field in a way, but this is now on elevated level. So life insurance is the foundation of generational wealth, because one thing to make the money is another thing to keep the money. So the generational wealth, life insurance brings that about. That's the reason why a poor person on one corner of the earth that understands how money works and get life insurance can liberate his family or her family from poverty just with the instrument of life insurance. Now, watch this. It's a contract where you exchange pennies today for dollars tomorrow. That's life insurance. So people buy it to protect their loved ones, but the wealthy people buy it already. They buy it to leverage. They buy it to grow. They buy it to pass on tax-free wealth. It's not just a death insurance for them, it's a legacy insurance. So here is where the concept of insurance comes in, and Dr. Cooley mentioned this. When I'm putting a structure together for people and I'm designing insurances for them, and they ask me about the Rockefeller method, the waterfall method, for example, or they're talking about what happened with the Vanderbilts, so they're comparing the two families together, and they see how one used insurance to continue to perpetuate wealth and establish a legacy that continues to live on today, and one without it. And what happened 2, 3, 4 generations later is all gone. In fact, dying without becoming a millionaire. What happened? What's the tale of the two stories with the richest families in the country? One learned how to use the instrument of wealth, of which the foundation of all of them is life insurance. So
hold that thought. We got to take a station break. I got to pay the bills. Got to take a station break. I want to come back. Keep that thought in mind, because you're on to something. Tell you what, only got one more second left, and it's not too late to be part of this conversation. All you have to do is just go to the platform, to the comments, ask any question that you might have. I promise you, we'll get you an answer. It's your life, and we'll see you shortly after the break.
Christian University, we believe education is more than just a degree. It's a pathway to a purpose-driven life. Whether you're advancing your career, pursuing a passion, or building a new future, VCU's 100% online programs give you the flexibility to learn on your terms, anywhere, anytime. With expert faculty, personalized mentorship, and a faith-centered approach, you'll gain the skills, knowledge, and leadership you need to make a lasting impact. VCU offers bachelor's, master's, and doctorate degrees, each designed to empower you for success in today's fast-changing world. Join a global community of believers, learners, and leaders. Ready to start your journey? Viridian Christian University, transforming lives, empowering futures. Visit us at ViridianChristianUniversity.com. That's ViridianChristianUniversity.com.
The James Cooley Show. It's your life. That's right.
Hello, welcome back to the James Cooley Show. It's your life, and I tell you, Dr. Thomas was on the road. I see we got about 3-4 questions in here, but I want to talk about this university, Viridian Christian University. Dr. T, can you just tell them a little bit about what we do?
Listen, you know I love to talk about Viridian Christian University. We are the best online accredited university. We offer, on our academic side, we offer over 30 different degree programs, bachelor's, master's, doctorate programs. We have open enrollment. You can enroll today, you can enroll tomorrow. Open enrollment. It is 100% online, and we are cost effective. One of the things that was very important to Dr. Nike and I was to provide a vehicle for those who wanted to be able to attain higher education, to be able to afford to do so without having to go deep into debt with student loans and things like that. So we are excited about Viridian Christian University. We are getting ready now to have our very last ceremony of the year. It will take place June 28th in Dallas, Texas. Yay! We're excited. We're excited. We will have our board members there. Dr. Nike will come in and she will be there. We have people coming in from all over to attend and to be a part of our university's ceremony. That evening, tickets are available. We will be having our VIP gala dinner. We have some very special guests that will be there in the building. You want to be there. You want to become a part of our family. We will welcome you with open arms.
Wow, I love it. I love it. I love it. Meridian Christian University. Hey, so we got about 8 minutes left in the show. So, Dr. T, you got to hold your responses. I'm getting questions all in here. Down to about a minute, and 5 seconds. But go to the first one. Dr. T, can you read this?
Yes, it says here, it says families should have a knowledgeable financial advisor who can educate them and give a reasonable perspective on expectations on return on investments. So with that being said, if I wanted to go and like I didn't have any like experience or anything like that, how do I go and find a financial advisor? Do I just Google it? Where would you recommend that a person to go in order to find a financial advisor?
I normally give 2 advice on this. Okay. Number 1 is look around you and find someone that you consider to be successful financially, whose life is together. Okay. Approach them and ask them exactly, who is your financial advisor? Why? Because it's very, very simple. It's called proof of concept. Mm-hmm. So that means apparently you see where this person have succeeded working with one person. Now, let's assume you don't have any access to that, whatsoever. Then it's very, very simple. You truly can do exactly that. You could pick up, the phone, you could make a few phone calls, and you could vet them, as to who you, think might fit. I suggest never one. You should at least talk to 3 different FAs, financial advisors, and then do your own vetting. Make sure you're comfortable, and then you start with them. And even when you do, what I do? I tell people, I always like competition. I do everything in twos. So, you go one side and you give money to one person, see how they handle. Give a portion to somebody, see how they handle. Look at what their customer service relationship look like. See how often they call you. Do what is service like. You go through like a first-hand experience before you finally decide I'm going to consolidate. Wow. Very simple.
That is so right. Because you have to vet and you have to also have a working relationship with your financial advisor. I do with mine. And, that's Joshua Goldsmith. You just saw him up there. And, so it's that's so important. Michelle don't have to waste her time because this, how do you define wealth? And that's what a LinkedIn user is asking. And we got like 3 more questions. So we
this is like a lot of questions coming in. It's like a rapid succession. All right. There are actually multiple components to wealth. I know often we talk about the physical money part, but in reality, it's in the hierarchical order of wealth. It's not even number 1, So real wealth begins first, with what we call your spiritual aspect. Because if you're not connected to your maker and to God, it doesn't really matter. You could have all the money in the world, you commit suicide, you die, it's ridiculous. Let's go to number 2. So you are the spiritual one. Then you go to, your health. It doesn't matter, your health is your wealth. So imagine you got $1 billion, but you can't even sleep at night. So what does it matter? Then we'll go from there, to exactly what you and I consider to be money today, So your means of exchange. And if you don't have it, obviously you are in trouble. And then last but not the least, how about the capital of your relationships? Because your happiness and your joy in life is not really the money and the paper itself. It's the
Let's go to the next question. The person that you just asked that said amen.
Okay.
I got another LinkedIn user. As a dollar amount, mindset, or both, I have an opinion, but interested in yours. 1 minute or less.
So as a dollar a month, mindset or I don't think I understand this question though. I have an opinion, but I don't think I understand the question.
Yeah, I think this question went with the one above, Dr. James. This person, I think, after they asked the question, how do you define wealth? I think their next part of that was, okay, I have an opinion myself, but I want to hear what Dr. Thomas had to say, and that's what he was answering. That is, there's different components to wealth.
He knocked it out the park. He knocked it out the park.
Yeah, absolutely.
We got Dr. Cooley. Can you read that?
Yeah, it says those who have a financial advisor needs to really understand the rewards as well as the risk involved in investments. Is that true or false?
100% true. You still need to have a gentleman or a lady's type of a basic knowledge of the risk that you're taking. Absolutely.
Okay. Thank you.
So we got about 2 minutes left in the show. What are some of the takeaways, Dr. Thomas, that you want our viewers and our listeners to get from this great discussion that we're having with you?
Let me just say this. Like I said, I've been to a lot of podcasts. I've been very blessed. A lot of my podcasts have really has been one of the top shows of the year for some of them. And when I come to this podcast and I'm looking at, Dr. Cooley, the energy and the way you interact and the value you're bringing, to the audience today. Anyone that spent time with us today, you're walking away with some kind of an impact. Mm-hmm. Hopefully, what I want the audience to know is this. If you just hear things without executing, it's meaningless. So whatever you heard today, go back, rewatch, share this video with everybody. Let everybody subscribe to this. Take a note and paper with your family. Diagnose everything we talk about. Research, go deeper. Take 1 or 2 items, implement that into your finances, and just watch the blessings pour upon you like unbelievable.
Wow. I tell you Absolutely. What, I want to thank you so much for taking the time to come on the show. And you invited back. I mean, I'm telling you, you released a lot of golden nuggets. And I'd like to thank Dr. T for filling in.
Absolutely. I love being here with you.
And Dr. Nike, which I like to thank her, the co-founder, for always being there. And, she is probably like 1 o'clock in the morning where she's already. But I'd like to thank all of y'all. Most importantly, Dr. Michelle Cooley for putting together, writing the questions, all that. Do that. Most importantly, I thank our viewers and our listeners for tuning in to the James Cooley Show. It's your life, Monday through Friday, 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 4 p.m. Central Standard Time, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and also on the radio in San Diego, FM 96.1, AM 1170, The Answer, and also in Dallas, AM 660, K-Scott, Spotify, all of 85 other different platforms. Thank you. Always dream big, think big, and be big at everything you do. Stick around. We'll be back Sunday on the radio. So tune in. Here we go.